go. Should get one of my boards to have a place on it. There we go. So this should be fun. I'm also going to use a bit of paint to brighten up the redness a little bit. So that should be interesting. Oh, already a like on the stream. Oh, that's cool. Hey, Becca. Hello. To you too. Hello. Hello both y'all. Sorry, I'm cleaning out my brush. Hopefully you both are doing well today. What? The sentencing was kind of dumb. But yeah, I know. Okay. That's good. Me, I'm trying to finish up on this armor. So I'm having to texture and make sure that each one bit is different. So I have to work in layers. So I'm kind of mixing together my medias using alcohol markers and stuff. And then I'm gonna that's harsh. I'm gonna try to get this done, and then I might download it once the stream is finished, like I did the one from last night, and then edit together with some recordings privately to finish. Of course, I have to mute myself when I edit it, but or mute the audio, which is fine and dandy. Hoping to get this done today. I wish I had some more primer color pencils, but I do not have the ones I want, so I have to rely on everything at my disposal to finish this. So it should be fun. Yes. I hoping to get some projects done on stream today, so because my battery's at 100, so it should be I should be able to get some stuff done, including this, for most of the stream. And then I have a few other ones. Walmart. Alcohol, the primer color pencils. I got a mini pack at Walmart, but not as, didn't have all of them. Well, I'm draw. Yeah. Hoping to get this done today. Some of the shorts do, that Miles one did pretty well, and I was happy about that. The other ones, in between. have a few prints I need to do. Today. This is one of many. So I'm using whether it's me too. Sure. I'm using a mixture of whatever I have on me. So and I work better on the floor when I'm drawing. We have a desk for me, but I don't have it set up, and I don't know if I would use it because I'm more comfortable when I'm sitting like this or I'm drawing. When I'm sitting at a desk, I'm just not as comfortable with it, which is, I know it sounds odd, but it's true. It's a weird thing. Something I could probably fix if I went when I'm art college time, like get myself more used to it when I'm working on projects or stuff, which is the plan whenever that stuff starts. So I'm hoping to have some portfolios of stuff ready. Here, dog hair in here. To where it's stuff I'm happy with. It's very clean. I don't have any words for it. So. What else? Sometimes I have to check the reference I have, which I probably do in a bit, to make sure I get the armor pieces smoothed out and I get the mixed stuff well. So yeah, I'm hoping to get this done. Been planning to. I'll probably edit later as like for a short and all that. It should be cool. Weird. What else? I'm hoping to get some. I don't have any white paint that I can mix it with, so I have to rely on knowing my darks and lights. You guys prefer commentary, or do you guys just want me to sit at paint in silence? Yes, I'd rather not be annoying. Well, that's good to hear. Ah. I've tried to do some videos, but I haven't really had the time to edit any together. And the reason I stopped doing the art videos is mainly just because the quality of this camera is crap. So I don't want to kind of produce videos that I think are poor quality, and I don't want to rely on imaging all the time. I have a drawing tablet, but I don't have it connected with my YouTube account, and I mean like a professional drawing tablet. I just don't use it enough the way I should. That's kind of like a me problem, because I could easily use it more, but like I would still be using the same program I use on my phone, which is Sketchbook, because I'm not very familiar, or I'm not very good at using some of the other art programs. So for me, it's very incredibly frustrating because I'm not very good at them. I would like to use them. I would like to do all that, but some of them are just too complicated, or it's just some of them cost, and I don't feel like I don't have any money on me. So I was hoping if I could get the channel to a certain amount of subscribers, I could get sure, Becca. I could get money from doing some of the YouTube stuff, but a little harder than I imagined. And plus, video-wise, it's hard to get people to watch some of those. It's been very harder than I thought it would be. So I've kind of took a break from doing as many videos and relied mainly on the art shorts and occasional gaming live streams when I feel up to it. But because there hasn't been anything that people find interesting, and I don't want to play the same crap every time, I haven't been gaming live stream for, as much as I used to, because I don't want to keep playing games I've already played on stream before. And I do want to play new stuff, but I want it to be just as fun for me as it is for you guys. So if it's something that I'm not having fun with, and you guys don't even care about, I'm not going to play it. So that's kind of been where I'm at lately. I would probably stream some games like Star Wars or something, but I don't have many Star Wars games, and I don't think many people are interested in seeing me play the Lego games or stuff like that. So it's That's why I don't. And for anything else wise, it's been very kind of because I don't want to be boring. Like I want to do art stuff, but I also want to do gaming stuff, but I do the gaming stuff more sparingly now to kind of work out a balance, because I don't want it to be just a run-of-the-mill gaming channel, but I also don't want it to be a run-of-the-mill art channel. So I kind of want to have the balance of both worlds. And for me, it's a lot harder because I want to do video, like gaming videos, but the problem with doing those is just the audio quality is shit. And I have to download, I first would have to record, download it, do the audio separately, which that's completely another thing all on its own. And then all this other run-of-the-mill crap that I just don't want to have to fool with. And art video wise or time-lapse video wise, I would like to do time-lapse videos, which has been the plan, because that's why the Vixen one has been taking so long, is because I haven't had the time to record it or even draw her, because I would have to think of a pose, and I don't have like a reference for her, because I like Vixen is she's like animal based, so like her poses or stuff like are very animal centric, and I don't have like a model that could like come up with, like, couldn't really do like a pose that's similar to that, or like a reference, like something unique but still animal centric. And also my thing is I would have to paint it, or I would have to sketch it and then paint it or draw it or whatever. And that's just a run-of-the-mill problem, because I have to think on the whim of design and concept. Animal-based? Oh, I like somewhat of the anatomy of anatomy. Yeah, well, kinda. Like her main ability is like from her totem, she can basically summon a spirit of an animal, but then mimic the animal's attributes. So she takes on those animals' abilities. So flight of an eagle, the swimming of a fish, or whatever, strength of a gorilla. So for Vixen, that's like something I would have to take into account if I was to draw her. And then painting her would be very complicated, because I would have to do like her outfit. I hate it when like the counter goes up. It says, "Oh, 3 people watching." Then like they hear me talking, and they're like, "Yeah, shit, goodbye." But oh well. That's one thing that always annoys me. But the thing is, like, for Vixen, if like I would have to look at like fan art, and I would have to look at different stuff. So like for me, I don't have a reference, and I'm a guy, so I can't do a female type pose. So that's it's very complicated. And also it's just a thing of like I don't know. I think for me, and this is me, I could do like, that's also like that's why I haven't done Black Widow or stuff like that. It's like I kind of want to do like something original, or I want to kind of have a pose that I like, that I think is easy, not only easy to draw, but easy to kind of like to simplify and then to paint. which painting is like my main shtick. You know, I like doing the other stuff. Like this has been like a mixture of everything. I've oil markers, pencils, paint, and I'll probably have to simplify it down later. The anatomy of humans. I also focus on animals and give them more. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know what you mean. But I guess for me, I kind of go with the Alex Ross approach of like photo reference and stuff. And for me, I don't have like a model. Like I could easily use like a toy, but I don't have any toys of her, and stuff like that. That's I kind of I'll sometimes watch his videos just when I feel like I'm stuck. Like I have like an artist block, you know what I mean? Like I have like a block on something. Because like Google's photo, like finding good photo reference on Google can be very hard. And I also the other thing is I don't want to read like almost feel like I'm copying somebody. Like somebody else's like design fan art wise, if I'm taking an influence from that. Sometimes that's been like a thing where I accidentally bake into the final product too much of the fan art aspect, which kind of feels like I'm ripping off of somebody, and that's like the last thing I want to do. So it's like I actually would kind of have to figure out like ways to get around that. And actually, hold on a second. I'm gonna get some tubes. I have some painting tubes that I have. I fall. But they're too liquidy. But I today I'm gonna try to lighten some elements up or darken some stuff or lighten whatever. And I gotta use these. But I think for me, it's like a thing of I don't want to bake in too much. Like that's kind of why it's hard for me to do. That's why I don't like. I have ideas for comics and stuff. The reason why I don't do them is one part confidence and the other part I don't have a full understanding of storytelling or just I don't have the understanding of how that stuff works. Like, you know, it's very hard for my brain to quantify the some of the stuff that's in. Is this actual white or is this not titanium? Okay, maybe this could work. Shit. Hold on. Paint's very liquidy, so sometimes I have to be careful. Lighten stuff up. I think for me, it's a mixture of a confidence thing, and it's also just I don't understand the story, like the panel, how that stuff fitting these characters in the panels and fitting that anatomy in there. It is hard for my brain to comprehend. And trust me, I've tried. Believe me, there's times where I've physically pushed and tried to figure it out, and it's baked in. Like when I'm doing it, I'm going with it within the moment, going with inexperience, and that's baked into the final product, which in some ways ruins it. Like I can easily. The thing with me is I could easily write a comic. I have plenty of ideas. Like I can design characters and stuff like that. That's easy. And but for me, it's like it's a thing of like sometimes it's an inexperienced thing because it's comics aren't my forte. Now I could easily do a cover. Now that's something I can do with ease. Like the amount of times I can come up with a comic cover or stuff like that is easy. Like that stuff, like I can easily do because it's like just one giant thing. Now but then there's the idea of excuse me, the pages themselves and the storytelling. You know that's where my brain kind of laps because it's not. I don't fully understand it, so that's why I don't do as many comics as I do like posters or single prints because like sure, you can do plenty of stuff like single block characters and whatever pose you can think of, all that stuff. But you also lose something like an experience wise by doing storytelling. But the problem for me is it's harder for me to understand it because like I've tried to watch videos explaining it and stuff like that, but also there's not a, there's not as many videos on painting comic books. Now there is a book that I'm looking to try to get at some point, which is the art of painted comics, and it has pages from Bill Sienkiewicz, which is the artist that did the Arkham Serious House on Serious Earth graphic novel, which you probably don't know what that is. Maybe you do. Alex Ross, which is my go-to for as a painted artist, and a few others, but that I don't know of, which I would have to look into and all that stuff. But for me, I think the thing is understanding. I've tried comics, but it's not really my thing. Yeah, same here. I do. um, I think for me, like writing comics, that's easy. Like I can write a story within a day. Like I'm just that I can be that creative. Like I actually, funny enough, I don't know how much of a Disney Channel kid you were, but I actually was I used to watch a show called Lab Rats, and most of the time when it was sitcom and very, you know, that type of stuff, it wasn't as good for me. But when it was serious and it had some comedic moments, but it was mainly serious, I had a much better time with it. Watching it, I mean. I was kind of thinking for me, and this is me, I was like, why don't I take the concept of it and take the same characters, but do I wouldn't say a parody comic, but a reimagining. Oh my god, I love rabbit rats. um, a reimagining, more serious version. Yes, it still has some of those elements that made the show great, but it was more based and more serious and like taking some of the similar plot lines from the show, not downright copying them, but baking them into the story, of course. But like some of the stuff, like it's more like a reimagining, more serious version of it. And I was like, I wanted to do that as a comic because I thought, have a similar thing of the show, but like more serious and a lot more. I can be a lot more free to fill out, like have more fun with the characters and do something a bit different and take out some of the more lamer elements, like the fat, if you will, the fat of the show that just didn't really resonate with me. And take my love of like some of the serious elements and some of the cooler elements and some of the concepts, like the bionics and stuff, and the one element that I thought was that could have been done better was the Douglas and Davenport's stuff. and I kind of wanted to kind of expand on that in the comic and kind of do something a bit different with my take on them, especially Davenport, because I found him to be very unlikable and very just kind of like, I know he's supposed to be, but I mean, like, I want to kind of change his character just a little if I was to do him, and I like that show a lot. There's a lot of stuff I didn't like, but I wanted to keep a lot of the similar characters, but I wanted to make it a better in execution than so like taking some of the episodes that we got from season 1 and some of the stuff, basically, what's the word? Basically, I would like to have like do a comic, just full on, fan, comic of the show and stuff like that. I tried to do like covers, and I wasn't very good because I tried to take because I wanted to have some of the characters look the same. The only character I wanted to change a little bit was Bree, personality wise and also look wise. Like, I think she can look the same, but I wanted to change some things about features wise and also like her hair. I thought when she's on missions or she's just in general, I wanted to give her like a rogue faux teeth where she has a red stripe through her hair that's genetic, like just a pure red hair, like long, like going through. And I thought that would be a cool little change. The rest of her hair is brown, of course, but like a brownish black maybe. And like change up some of the suits a little bit, and all that. I thought that would be pretty cool, and kind of give it a comic faux teeth of like give it like a Fantastic Four and stuff. Oh yeah. That sentence needs a little work. That sounds like a baby sentence. Not making fun, just pointing that out. Hard for me to read. But yeah, I think it would be a cool project to work on. I'd have to write down a script or write some scripts down. Well, I'm drawing a wolf skull. Oh, that's cool. I know I did. I think I would change. The one thing I would change was that I would make Douglas more. I wouldn't say evil, but I think I would make his relationship with Davenport, when I explain it through the comic, I think there'd be like more of like a twisted side to Douglas. And I actually pulled from the X-23 books when I was thinking about like how to explain do the whole Adam, Bree, and Chase thing. And I thought, basically Douglas being a more sick and twisted than he is in the show, where he's kind of a baby. He basically blackmails an employee at the company that he started with Davenport through jealousy and stuff, and because Davenport kind of liked her, and he have hit on her and stuff, and basically he already liked her, but so instead he blackmailed her with like some stuff, and basically, like, if you read the X-23 origin, you know where I'm going with this. He forced her to carry what he thought was just one child that he would imbue with bionics, but there was 3. So, of course he had to merge the DNA. So of course he got what he wanted in a way. But I mean, like, in a sense, which, if I know this is weird, but I'm just spitballing. That's how I would have a darker, very different approach to the origin of Adam, Bree, and Chase. And I actually I think I would do this comic. I think it would be great. I think the only problem is Disney. um, they would not allow it. But yeah, this because I think doing like a fan comic would be kind of fun. Yeah, but drawing it is completely different. But with Spider-Man 2099 here, I'm taking some influence because I've mixed my medias with oil markers, color pencils, everything, all that. Hello. And kind of hoping to actually like the stream this time. Get this done. Because he never does. Well, that's good. Mine is still needing work. I'm doing the armor, which I have to brighten up later, which I have to go in with maybe like a gouache or something, which I do have some tubes over here, like a deeper watercolors and stuff, which I have to kind of wait till it dries, obviously, but hold on. There we go. Rose red. You know, he never likes the stream. He comes in and then he just leaves. I don't get it. Do you guys think I should do a members only streams? Like that's how I should do things from now on if I do live streams? I know you guys can't hear me, but I was thinking about this a lot, so it deters. You don't even know what I'm talking about, Becca. Basically, it deters the, yeah, just like, not really members, but I can. Like, basically, it deters the people that just, they either leave a comment or they just come in and leave. It basically deters the people that don't even want to stay anyways, so I don't know. That's the one thing that annoys me is that some people they'll leave a comment, they won't do nothing, and it's very annoying and it's very frustrating. It's like I because the reason why it's frustrating for me is because it's hard enough to do streams or do some of this stuff and have it gain traction. And like the videos, if nobody likes the videos or nobody likes the shorts, they're going to sit and stagnant. That's what's going to happen. No views, no nothing. And that's what some of my shorts or some of the videos have done. And that's been the problem. Because they're just going to sit there and stagnant. And because of the YouTube algorithm, which keeps kicking my ass, the less views and the less likes and the less all that crap basically means less attention and less growth. And when you get up to even 200 or more, that's what happens. More often than not, YouTube won't recommend your stuff. It won't show you or stuff. So it makes it harder for me if, people don't do some of this stuff. And I don't like asking But if people watch other content in the bigger channels like Markiplier and stuff like that, and they kind of say the same stuff like, hey, like and subscribe, you already have that built into you. Like, you get what I mean? You have that already built in watching those guys. Why is it so hard on the small ones? Kind of makes it kind of more difficult, And I don't like being that douche that says, oh, you should. I'm not one of those people that demands things. I don't like the idea of that. I know that sounds like what I'm doing. But no, I'm just trying to state these simple facts of, like, especially for, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. It's the same. It's kind of like, I don't want to be that type of YouTuber that sounds entitled. I just saying it from the experience of doing it for as long as I have, which has been a couple months. I've had to figure it out the hard way. So that's kind of why I when I say this, I mean it with like respect and like all that stuff. And plus, I would like to do like dual live streams where I do stuff with somebody or do stuff. Or I would like to do projects with people, whether it's art or games, do walkthroughs, or just do stuff with subscribers or anyone in general. That would be fun. Like, I don't have I don't have any problems with working with other people. You respect me, I respect you. It's that simple. Like, if you don't get everything I say, or you don't think everything I say, like, you take it on your shoulders and think I'm being an ass, then it's like, don't do that. That's the one downside to working with people, is sometimes some people don't understand you, so they kind of come at you. Well, they think you're being an ass when you're not, because they don't take the time to think, oh, it takes time working with people, over time, that you get a certain idea of how the person is. So if they say something that's, like a joke that could be considered offensive or kind of an asshole joke. Now, some people would say, oh, that's, that blah, blah, blah. But if you've known the person for a long time and genuinely known them, when they're kind of, just being themselves. So that not to take it to heart. But everybody wears their feelings on their sleeves nowadays, which is at a certain point very annoying. I don't want to be that guy that's cold-hearted, but I'm sorry. I have been called every name in the book, and I've had people even mess with me online. I've had people mess with me in real life. It is the most difficult thing to deal with, but if it teaches you a valuable lesson, people don't give a shit. People don't give a shit about your feelings. The world don't care. Tough luck, don't give a fuck. That, like, give zero fucks. That's the lesson that I had to learn. And it's a very hard lesson to learn in high school, or just in general, whether it's like people or workplaces or stuff. People don't want to hear a sob story. People have their own shit to be worrying about. If you're going to be complaining all the time about this, that, or the other, nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to give a shit. Nobody's going to care. They're just going to go on their day, or they'll make fun of you for bitching about it. That's literally like, the thing of how the world works. And I've had to learn that the hard way. And basically, where people is like, like that I've even been told, like, just shut the fuck up. Like, nobody cares. Like, you're like, nobody cares. And it's a very hard and annoying lesson to learn, because, like, you would expect people to be more compassionate, and I'm not saying everybody is cold-hearted, but most people are, and it's just a thing of, like, if you basically wear your feelings on your shoulders and you're one of those types of people, you're gonna be offended by every fucking thing that somebody says. and that is no way to live, and nobody wants to be around that person. Those people are the definition of people I genuinely do not like or care for, or I don't despise them, but I find them to be very and that's just me saying that from experience. And I think I don't know. I think for me, what I've had to learn, and this is like in the art world and just in anything in general, people are going to be assholes, but the important trick is to decipher if they're genuinely being an asshole or they're genuinely have good criticism, which in the art world, which I've had to learn the hard way with like even small pieces, like if somebody says to me, like the eyes look off, the texturing looks off, or like you need to work on mixing your either your paints or your oils, or not oils, but like different stuff. It's I have to decipher whether that's genuine criticism or not. Which I probably should have like music playing. It might be more better, like non-copyright music, but it's harder to do that with a phone live stream. So, my apologies. But no, I just in a way it's more of a thing of like I kind of just have to decipher, you know. I am confused. I tend to just tune it out, if I'm being honest. I tune it out. No offense, mind you, I just do. If it's something I don't get, or I just kind of, it sounds almost like baby talk, I tune it out. I don't know, like, no offense, mind you, I just do. I gotta be blunt and honest. It's just how I am as a person. I don't mean to laugh, but I just like this is how I am. If I don't understand it, I'm confused by it, I tune it the fuck out. That's why like somebody left a comment that I didn't completely understand, and they never replied or elaborated. I haven't deleted it, but it was on the Miles Morales thing, and they said, use guidelines in all caps with like skulls or something. And like, I never saw anything else from them. Maybe they left a reply and it's like hidden, like they like, because YouTube loves to do this shit where with comments mainly, they like to hide stuff. Like I have to go back, and I don't have my thing set, and I have it to show all comments, but like basically with it has they have this thing where they have a thing where it basically takes certain comments that are offensive, rude, or blah blah blah, and hides them and puts them in a special thing where you can see if if they're genuinely that bad, where you can delete them, have them still be posted, or whatever. That's just part of the game, I guess. Actually, fun challenge for you, Mrs. Wolfie. Interesting challenge for you is to try to come up with some designs for an Adam Bree and Chase for like a cartoony, comic-y look for each character. For like basically, like in testing stuff, like with simplified animations, like they go with they have different looks, right? if you go back on my community posts, remember that that Terrorizer and Vanoss crew thing I did where I had layout sheets of each of the characters? You can do something like that. Do it regular or digital, what have you, and basically try to come up with some simplified and some cool designs and see what you can make of it. I think if you're up for the challenge, that is. I've done a few, but I kind of yeah. Oh, talking too much. Okay. It's almost done, I guess. I'm done with the wolf skull finally. Oh, that's good. That's good. Now I'm posted. Good. Well, if you want to take notes like from the character sheet front, like you can look at behind the scenes footage of stuff, but also you can check I still have it up, so on the community post you can get like an idea of how I didn't really do. The one thing for me is I didn't do alternate version of designs. Like I did one and done, but you can do like version 1, version 2, version 3, like doing different styles and different shapes and stuff for like each character. So like Bree, Chase, Adam, and then like and then you can post it and I can get a look and I'll see which ones I like the most and see what you can come up with. I was gonna, if I'm being honest, I was going to let see if Beta would do this too. Like I want to, because I know if many, I like to give my fans a challenge. Like if they're artists, I like to give them something that might give them something interesting to do, and kind of like a challenge. Even for me, like I've never really done too much of that stuff. So for me, it's like a unique challenge to try and do stuff. So yeah. And what, Becca? What? 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 I sound like I did when I was around my sister. If I know, I saw your message. Just because I don't respond to it doesn't mean I didn't read it. I might have dyslexia, but I can read partial short sentences. It's like with my sister. When she annoyed me, I would go into aggressive sarcasm. I haven't changed. I might be 20 years old, but I have not changed. Also, the unique challenge for you is getting like the jumpsuits. Like you can do like faces first and then like do different jumpsuit designs, which was something that I was going to do at some point, but didn't have the time. 3 likes on the stream, cool. And 3 viewers. Well, welcome. I am finishing this up, or trying to. I've mixed together like oils and oil markers, more specific, gotta be, and taking from CinemaSins. I have to say this sentence right now. What was it? What was the sentence from CinemaSins? Details, man, they are important. Sorry, but using that, Bic intensity, or I think it says intensity. I have dyslexia, so and whatever have you. So I'm using a mixture of all that to get this design done, and which have taken me some hours on end. Sir, how have Lynn been? I haven't seen her in so long. She's good. She's I guess she's doing some stuff on her channel. I don't hear from her too much either. I've heard from her a few times, but not too much. I'm also using, now this is something I hate to turn this into a review, but Five Below watercolors, these things, yeah, don't get them. Yeah, they're cheap, but they're so runny and so liquidy. They're not very good. Cry. Haha. But no, they're not as good. If you're a painter or you're using these, like if you want to use their alcohol markers, good and fine. That's great. These, on the other hand, they're kind of decent, but which is Art Loft, but they're pretty good for like with watercolors. Yeah, they're cheap. But they're a lot more thicker. These are like water with like color in them. They're not very good. I just started using them a little bit, and I don't like them. They're very liquidy. Yeah, the alcohol markers are fucking horrible. I'm not saying they're horrible. I said their paints are horrible. Their alcohol markers are decent. I don't think they're great either. But if you have to get stuff cheap, their alcohol markers are more worth it than their paint. I don't know about their palette stuff. Like, I haven't tried their palettes stuff, but their tube paint is god awful. I would not recommend it with a 10-foot pole. Sorry, but not sorry. You're good. I don't care. You're fine. Say whatever you please. But no, I don't recommend their paint. Like, their Five Below's paint is, like, in my eyes, not good at all. Their paint is actually shit too. So yes, well, that is kind of what I was saying. But yeah, I hope I have like a few projects, like besides like these like art projects that sometimes I need to do. I have projects that I want to do, not just big posters or stuff like that. I mean, like I always have the ideas to do these pretty cool projects. Like, I can write scripts or write stuff pretty easily, come up with stories, but I don't have the talent to really visualize them into something cool. Like, I know plenty of people, on the other hand, that can. And they're pretty good voice actresses and other stuff. And I have a few friends that are gamers and artists that actually, inspire me every day, whether it's in real life or on here. A friend of mine, he's a pretty good. He's a lot better artist than he gives himself credit for. He's a friend of mine, and he actually draws better than I can, if I'm being honest. And then there's few voice actress friends that are on here. One of them is close to getting K subscribers. And okay, hold up. Look, I have experienced most of craft and art, and now I'm fully admit that I go to Five Below an absolute shit. Yeah. But no, I think she's an amazing voice actress in her own right. There's a few other ones I know, and then Beta, who's another amazing artist herself, which, she's been trying to tell me about maybe doing some other platforms, but I'm just not very. 100K, would that be me? Yes. I knew it was you. I had a feeling you were listening. I knew it. I had a sense. I sensed you. I knew you were here. And yes, I knew you hit. Hi. I had a feeling you were here. But before you say anything, yes, your spidey senses were high. Yes, very much so. But I didn't say that because I knew you were here. I was saying that even if you weren't here and you rewatched the stream, I was just being honest. So, and I'm so glad you hit to 100K. Congrats. Congrats. Sadly, I am still playing catch up. Which is for me I think it's harder because I'm not very good at doing art videos. But yes, how are you doing, by the way? She perked up when I mentioned that. I think she's like, is he talking about me? Oh my goodness. No worries. We are building a network, you'll see. Yes, indeed. I posted a little bit on my TikTok account. I don't post it. Yeah. I don't post on it a lot. I post on it very few just to put up some speed drawings, art stuff. Mainly that's what I use it for. Where this I kind of more I wouldn't say freelance, or I'm kind of very chaotic. I'm chaotic like I am with my art supplies in my spare room. I'm going to link this drawing in the post Okay. That's cool. I'll check it out later, maybe after stream or something. Like I have plenty of just tons of prints that are still not done, posters, all that crap. Oh man, I have so much I still need to do, and then I did want to do that comic. Now that I think about it, I think that'd be so cool. Of course, you are Recon. Hello. I can't read that. God damn it! Fucking dyslexia. Chaotic. Yes, I am chaotic. I butchered that word so bad. It's funny. I can voice type a whole script for stories, mini stories, ideas for scripts for a comic or whatever. I can go off a whim just improvising for some stuff, and then I have stuff mini written down. But when I actually try to read shit, I can't. It sucks. It sucks ass. I don't like cussing, but it sucks so bad. I hate it. I hate dyslexia. It really sucks. But yes, and like I was saying earlier, speaking of one of my friends who is an amazing voice actress in her own right, and the Queen Bee is here, as you can see, and I have done fan art, or not really fan art, but some art for her as some things in the past. She's seen some of the shorts I did, or some an art I did of her, which I did take. I did have to trace the pose from the Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Mr. and Mrs. Smith cover. So I take full on thing for that, but the rest was all me because I had a good idea what I was doing. partially. Which honestly, I did try to send you the Gmail, by the way, and every time I tried, it kept getting deleted in your comments. So I don't know. I tried to find a way to send it to you, and I had a post up for it. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah. And I had a post up but I had to delete it. Anyway, you have Discord? No, a friend of mine does, and he's been nagging me to get it. The worst part about me is, do you want to know the worst part about this YouTube channel? I had to have him help me set it up. Because when it comes to Gmail and all that stuff, I am clueless on setting up stuff. Like, trying to set up stuff for me is very hard because I have a very, very, very tiny brain. I'm kidding, of course, but I'm not very techno and social media savvy. I wish I was. I feel like an old man. I'm not. I'm completely honest. I am not good at it. I would love to have Discord. I think it would be cool to get me a Discord account, set it up, all that stuff. Well, I'm gonna start nagging you too. Of course. Well, fine. Oh, great. I'm gonna have two people nagging me. Great, love it. Well, maybe at some point you can have some of your subscribers come over here and freaking check some stuff out. I don't know. I have a mini playlist for like audio stuff, but I haven't updated it in weeks. Like the only time I did an audio improv comic for Batman. I did a few ASMR things because I was just like, I got bored. And I'm not an ASMRist, so I haven't deleted them because I just like, it's not my forte. Like, I could script write, I could do that, but voice acting, I am complete shit. And that is the absolute truth. Like, I hate the sound of my own voice. But no, I can script write. I can come up with ideas fine. Like I could easily come up with stories or like stuff for videos and stuff like that. That's fine for me. But the problem is, it's the same problem I have with comics. Like trying to draw a comic, it's a harder notch for me to do. Like, give you a prime example. Give me just a second. Oh crap! Let me angle this down so you guys don't see my legs. Can't have that. Prime example one is that I tried to do a few tried to do comics in the past. This is like a rough sketch thing I did once, and I had a few others upstairs. My problem is like environment, rough sketching, inking, all that stuff. Plus, if you're doing it all on your own, it's a lot harder. Like if I'm doing a poster, easy pickings. But if I'm doing anything other than that, yeah, it's not very fun. Oh, crap. Give me 1 second. I will be right back. I'll let you guys talk for a second. I gotta go grab something from upstairs and all that. So give me just a moment. minutes looking for the stupid thing. Ah, found it. Okay, sorry. If nobody's left, I'm sorry. I had to grab something. Ow! What did I miss? Ah, yes. Thank you. Well, I can't wait to start getting nagged to get Discord. Lovely. Are you going to actually help me set it up? Are you going to go to my TikTok account and message me and be like, hey, here's how you set it up? Sure. Yeah, I hear that stuff occasionally and I get to know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I take that as a yes. That's what I take that as. I will, and I will drive over and your mouth. When I hit the 100K, I'm gonna release it. Why don't you help me get to 200 or 300? Kidding, of course. Partially. That's the idea. I see. I can help. Yeah. How so? Well, since I have half of this done, which is good enough time to stop working on it, because I've worked on it for over an hour, and I need to work on something else or I'm gonna go mad. So, what could I work on? Because I got Gwen done, I got Miles done with alcohol markers, mostly alcohol markers, ink. I got Oogie Boogie I still need to do, or finish. Freddie Mercury. Or I could... Ada... How many prints do I have? Chucky... Looks like Jason... I have too many, that's what I think. Too damn many! You know what? Fuck it. Got a better idea. My sleeve is in. I am going to try to do rough sketching for a little bit of character designs or whatever. Just improvising for whatever. I don't know. Maybe that or... I don't know. My thing is, I'm not very good at editing. And I'm not very good at... I don't have the equipment that a lot of people have. Kind of have to rely on the good old 1-2. Oh, crap. You know... I'm pretty sure... Nah. Stupid thought. Nah, dumb thought. Alright. What to do? Okay. You know what? Actually, no, wait. I don't have any reference. Well, I have a few, but I could get that done. Oh, I hate my life. Okay. Because I have it over. Nah, forget it. Oh, no. Oh, my head. Yeah. Give me second. Move this out of the way. Oh, dang it. Hold on. Ow. Come on. Ah, there we go. I've messed this room up, haven't I? Yep, I have. Art supplies everywhere on the floor and a big old chaotic mess. Lovely. Ugh. Ow. Shit. My back. I feel like an old man. Ow. My back. Ugh. Need to work on this one anyways. This poster is still in early development, which I need to work on it. Okay. What to do? Well, for starters, need to darken Klaus's hair. If I remember correctly, because I got him, Mr. Spider-Man here, still drying, so I'm gonna take a break from doing him. Yeah, I got my finger on a wet part. Lovely. Hold on. Sorry about that. I'll have to correct that later. So what I'm gonna do is work on a poster, my comic poster for Umbrella Academy, which probably one of my favorites, even though the art style can be a little janky in a few places from time to time. So I'm planning on eventually selling or getting, which I don't have a printer. I'm kind of plan on getting this printed or copied or whatever once it's done, and I'm happy with it. Mainly just that. I'm happy with the art and the look and all that, and then I can give it to a comic book shop, which I know a guy down where I'm at. He owns a place called Dreadnought Comics. Yeah. And he's pretty cool. So I can like talk to him about some of the display stuff, sell stuff if he wants to, and all that jazz. Just depends. So he'll have like copies and all that, which has kind of been the thing I've been working towards, is just getting my stuff to a point where I can sell it. Like if I'm doing like a poster like this, which is an original concept poster, which I've gotten to work with other artists on live streams before, which if you guys haven't watched those, I've tried to post when I do it, but it's more depending on their schedule, and they're all the way in Hawaii, so the Hawaiian time is a lot different than here. So when I work with those guys and gals, it's always a pleasure to work with like artists and older artists, better and more skilled than me. But it's always just a pleasure just to work with people in general. So yeah. If you guys have anything to say, go right ahead. Open ears and hear what you guys. I don't mind. I don't want to always be the one that's talking about myself. That sounds a little narcissistic. So, what have you? Let me know what you guys want to say and do or talk. Anything to add? Kind of don't want to go on a whim. Here. Also, B, if you were to do those, well, it is your live. We want to catch up with you. Yeah, that's true. we We can do it later. Yeah, I have. Um, yeah, you're all good. Trust me. Also, have you ever the scripts I did, the ones you saw? Well, one of them was not connected to the other two. The first two were connected in a same as like a part 1 and 2, and I never had time to work on a part 3 after that, or like just anything in general. um, but did you if you were to do them, have you ever have you figured out like a thumbnail art for it, or what? Or were you expecting me to do the thumbnail art? Or it is your channel, so I've seen them, and I need time. You're good on the time front. I don't care. It's like do it like you're trust me, you're good. Like I know your schedule is pretty full with all the stuff you work on and all that jazz. And I'd love to. Well, that would be great. I like, you can do the art if you want to, or if you want me to do it, I'm more than welcome. Or I'll do it. Uh, but I need to communicate more with you. All right. Well, get Discord. I know. Well, actually, I don't have to use Discord. You could, if the one thing with TikTok, which I don't like them having access to my contacts, so that's why I always cut that off. When I do use it, which is sometimes, I can chat with like people that follow me or friendly if I want to. I'm not a super social media person, so Snapchat, don't have it. Wouldn't know how to set it up if I wanted to. And I knew a lot of people in high school that used it, and I had a friend that used it a lot, and I saw a lot of girls using it. And when the girls used it, you can tell. I don't want to get into what they were doing when they were using it, but that's why I never used it, because I was not a fan of that. I did not want to get on my account if I did, or if I was smart enough to set it up and just see a bunch of pictures from the girls at the school, and they're all not good, not appropriate, not cool. And I was get the Discord. I know. But I will, maybe. I just depends. I'm not smart. I don't have Snapchat either. Good. Neither do I, and I never will. Neither do I, and I never will. I know a lot of people would think I should. It's either that or get Twitter or DeviantArt, which one of the artists that I did the collab with, he has one. I don't. I would have to look into more about it, and I also would have to set it up, which, again, I am not good at setting stuff up. I never have been. It's just been something that's never been very good. I've never been good at it. So yeah, it's just been something I really suck. I really suck at. Funny enough, like, I can improvise stories on a whim if I wanted to. Like, funny enough, like, I was when the whole line of, Darling and stuff like that, that came from a bit of inspiration from another series, which is a lot darker. That, and I don't want to act like I stole everything from it. No. Most of what I came up with was completely original, and it also stemmed from something that I actually personally have a problem with, and it's from trauma and some experiences when I was little. And that's where the idea of like somebody not being as perfect or as what someone would seem, and for them to like slightly change, like they realize, okay, maybe it was just obsession and not true love because I didn't know this really about them. So here, that's where this changes, and I'm gonna actually be someone worth, loving, and not some creepy stalker. But there is some semblance of like working to get there. So like when she realizes why the whole idea of part two was so interesting to write was when I was thinking, well, okay, how to have some trials and tribulations. So basically with somebody like that, you basically have to, I had to write it in a way of like, well, when she realizes maybe he lied, she thinks he lied and everything was all just some made up story, or he was playing on her feelings or something like that. Because sometimes there's some guys that do that, and I've seen them do that and stuff like that. I'm not one of them, but like that's what her immediate thought comes to, and like I thought, okay, that's perfect setup. So when you have her regressing just a bit, but as that's why the idea of the her hearing noise slightly, it's to build up the fact that, oh, he's still actually here. And that's why I wanted to write it in a unique way of like trial and tribulations, and also the idea of using the piano scene from Corpse Bride. That was the biggest inspiration because I was rewatching that film at one point, and when I was writing, and I was watching it, and I was rewatching that scene, and I was like, that's perfect. Like the idea of like two people that are already in flux, and they're not very, and that's where him being at the piano instead of like him kind of playing the Emily role while she plays the Victor role is like a reversal. And it's also the duet is also a semblance. If you, because I rewatched that film, it's of two people already like splintered, but they're starting to come together and genuinely understand one another. And that's why the duet is at first splintered, the where Emily plays her half and then Victor tries to connect and play a little bit, and then she ends it, but then he starts to pick it back up and play it on his own, and then she kind of like eventually starts to play with him. And that's where I kind of got the idea of the ending of part two. When I was writing it, I was kind of thinking on that whim of like, how to semblance that type of that feel. Because like I used to play piano when I was younger. I wasn't very good at it. I was good at first, and then I stopped playing, and now I'm kind of not very good at it. I was never very musically talented. But I thought when I was writing it, I had this idea of like, like, because when you always hear like these very yandere based stories, they're always very, there's already two types of people. There are two types of versions where it's like, the person that's with them is already like they're cool about it, they don't care, or they're the yandere or whatever was very scary and they're murderous or killer. I kind of wanted to do a different style where it's like you kind of have this semblance of two people, one who's kind of already and I kind of wanted to put in this effort to make a story when I wrote it. And I don't know if it was easily readable, that it was good. I'm sorry about that. If you're still here, I'm sorry. I'm probably boring. I'm probably being boring. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, that was the one you voiced was good. Well, yeah, that was fun to do too. But yeah, I think for me, it's like when I try to write stuff, I always try to take an account of the emotional ties to things, and also some semblance of when you write something, you want somebody that's listening to feel a little bit. You don't want it to have too much a tragedy where it's depressing, but you also don't want it to have too much mushy to where it's like overly good. You want to have a sweet spot. And that's when I was writing that the where I got the title from was actually from God of War Ragnarok. A line that Odin tells Freya was in their wedding vows, which was the deepest wounds form the strongest bonds. And I thought taking that concept, kind of like with Odin and Freya's relationship, how, like that type of relationship, but playing it on a different scale. I thought when I was writing it, I thought it would be cool to, oh, yeah. I thought it would be cool to take that type of concept of like a very broken, very in a way screwed up relationship. Because that's what really yandere means. It's like they're very crazy in a way. But I thought playing that on a different scale where like the idea of the person not being as perfect or not being as what they thought they were, because they had this version of them in their head, like they saw them and watched them and spied on them, but they thought they knew everything about them, but they didn't. And having them be maybe even more broken and more having more trauma than even that person knows, that's where I thought that's something that's never really been touched on, that's never really been really done before. And for me, it's like, as someone who's single and who would love a relationship with somebody, but never really thought about if that person would accept even the darkest parts of my past or the parts that I try to keep hidden. And I'm not saying like I've done anything bad. I mean like stuff that's happened to me when I was younger. And that's where, when I was writing it, I wanted there to be an emotional bit for the boy. At least that's where I thought the fear of being tied up was a trigger. And maybe he's had something like an abusive thing, or maybe he's been put somewhere in a facility, which that's where, like that semblance of relatability, that's where when I was writing it, that's where stuff that happened to me, I've been in facilities, like stuff like that. And when I was younger, and even though autism or no, like that's no place to be. And I thought that would be an element. Well, they say we have the most depth things and we don't show to anybody. True. Yeah. And I think that's why I wanted the ideal of maybe having two people that are equally broken or equally not completely right, have a very weird but unique relationship where they, genuinely, because it's not, I don't want like the idea of like with yandere's, they try to force love, or like it's like, either way, it's not really as completely right. And I thought for this one, I wanted the element of, if with writing, the idea of love is very complicated because it's not truly definable, it's not truly, anything. As someone who's never been in a relationship, I know it's easy for me to sit there and say I know everything. I don't know shit. But for me, how I think love could work is like just the push and pull of somebody that you can't, I guess in a way, someone that can truly accept you, but also, there's going to be challenges, there's going to be tons of things, nothing's going to be perfect, but the idea of somebody that's there, whether they're not right at, they take the element I was trying to take from is the element of love that is, you have something that your partner has. So the idea of like the pieces that are missing from you, they have, and the pieces that they're missing, you have. So it's like that perfect idea of like true connection and true stuff. And I wanted I didn't want there to be a genuine toxicness. So that's why when you have that, I like that kind of semblance of her regretting doing that, it's partially of like even her hesitance, the selfishness idea of like not wanting to let him go because he might run away. And it's like, that's why when he bolts, there was like a true little thing of like, will he run away? Will he not? But also, it's a thing of like, it's a true thing because even I do it. The whole idea of the escalator fear, I have that. So when I wrote that in about the idea of like, like how someone is fear of an escalator, they, immediately bolt when they get to the end of it, they bolt off to catch their bearings. That's kind of was a relatable, true thing that I wanted to have there because I thought it made sense. And if you were in that type of, if you just had a trigger, you need a minute. Like you have to catch your bearings and have to think. And I thought like that would be a perfect little thing of like them, running, but they go to a corner and like they just take a minute. And I thought that would be amazing. Like that's like the perfect idea. And I did come up with a few other ones, like different scripts and stuff. I know that probably this series, I probably nobody would watch it and then nobody would care. But I honestly wanted there to be a semblance of mixture of relatability, passion, genuine care, but also just like some heartwarming moments, but also some fearful moments, but then some truth to it all. Yeah, sorry, I had the compliments each other, nice, and the perfect. Yeah, no, it's nice. Yeah. Sorry, I had to shut the door. For in here. I didn't want there to be problems. I guess for me, sometimes even though I can't write very good, the idea of like voice writing or coming up with an idea, it always for me like being I could easily do like a script writing or you know genuine cool little things. I thought for the idea of like the one thing that I always keep in mind is like if people want a story, they want a semblance of not just relatability and escapism, but also some mixture. Like they have to feel something. And if it's overabundance of one thing, they're not going to like it as much. If it is abundance on the other front, same thing. But finding that perfect balance is always hard, for me at least. I guess that's why I always liked the idea of the series. I wanted to pitch it. Um, I wanted to pitch it to like different ASMRists, but I just couldn't. I tried a few times, but I was like, it never was gonna. They were either they liked the idea or they were too busy or they just either genuinely forgot about it, which I was always like, it's fine. And eventually I just deleted the idea of it. And it actually, funny enough, it was always an early concept when I would do that. It was just like an early, just rough draft, not as in depth as you saw script wise. It's like that some stuff would get rewritten or change multiple times. So the idea of like um just some stuff would get changed and rewrit several times over until I thought it was just right. And honestly, when I was honestly scared. I was scared to even put it on the community post or pitch it because when I tried to do it in a video, I went through several different problems. The files kept getting corrupted. The the other problem is I had to write the script on with the text in the editing app itself, which doing it vertical was a complete pain in the ass. It was a big mistake because what I had to do was do the title on the sketchbook page. Then I tried to write the whole script on the thing, and I couldn't do it. And then I kept trying to do it on the editing side of things. And the only thing I managed to save was the beginning. and even that, I had to cut some stuff. And it was so painful. And so I just said, you know what? Fuck this. I just decided to copy the what I had, for the script, and then I just put it on the community post. And taking lightly those 3 pages of like not just script 1 and 2, and then that other one, there was originally supposed to be 11 scripts, and some of them were connected and some of them weren't. The reason why there aren't is because wouldn't let me. After a certain point, it would have like an error, so I had to cut stuff down and stuff like that. So I just kind of said, fuck it. Oh man. By the way, how have you been? I know Thanksgiving's coming up, and I'm hoping that you're doing well. Well, that was the first time, right? It matters of checking tech. Yeah, tech is iffy. Yeah, that I can agree on it. The files kept getting corrupted and all that shit. You're doing fine? Well, that's good to hear. Excited for Turkey Day. Yes, it's the one day a year I could be Pac-Man and nobody will care. I could do the munchies and nobody will complain at me. But instead of going outwards, I go upwards. I don't get fat, I get tall. Yes. I have tried to do some memes on the channel and post them. I was debating exactly. Yeah. I was debating doing a few that I saw from like Terrorizer and Nogla's like React thing, but like I was showing them to my adoptive dad, who is a part of that older generation, and like because I need to get the reason he's always he cares, so he's like he wants to he's trying to let me spread my wings on some stuff, but for me it's like he knows. Plus, the only reason I don't have a driver's license is because of, problems when I was younger, more specifically seizures. So I cannot drive. But he doesn't have any problems when we go to Malibu Jackson. I destroy everybody in go-karting. I'm the biggest toxic asshole when I do that shit. I am sorry. I have no shame in admitting that. I am like I am in Mario Kart. I am a giant dick. I am an asshole. I am like Terrorizer. I am like silent for half the race, or if I am talking, I am just like the biggest. I am just the biggest jerk. Like, oh boy. This is why I don't half the time I don't what little friends I do have, like it's not like because we moved and other shit, because I still keep in contact with a few because they don't ever want to play Mario Kart with me, because the last time they played with me I lapped them throughout the whole race. And and I waited at the finish line on the 3rd lap and had 3 bombs. No, I had 2 bombs and I believe a boombox. And I waited, and before even finishing, they were about to finish, and they saw me sitting there. What are you doing? And I just dropped 2 bombs and freaking and then waited. One of them tried to drive past him, boomboxed him, and kept going. And they were so fucking pissed. They were so mad at me. They literally wanted to beat the shit out of me. I said, "Don't hate the player. Don't hate the game, man." He said, "You are the biggest dick. You know that." That's the whole point of why the whole thing with the Mario Kart meme with that I didn't get that footage myself, but I found it. The whole thing with the what's his name? That's why I did that. Yeah, everything goes in more and more. Yes, yes. Oh man, oh it's hilarious. That's why I love Mario Kart. It's because it's so funny to mess with my friends. When I do play, that is. I don't play it that much anymore. I wish it was on PS4, but then I realized it's Nintendo and they won't do that. Oh man. So I'm gonna move this aside. I've done a little bit of work on this, and now it's just back to this. But yeah, it is the funniest thing though. I was probably the worst in Mario Kart. I was kind of like Terrorizer. That's why I loved his Mario Kart videos so much, because I was probably the same way I was in COD. I didn't care if I lost. I just had to make everyone else rage. everyone else had to rage when I was playing, or it wouldn't be any fun. And that's why it was always more entertaining. And I wish I recorded. I wish I had a YouTube channel back then, because the amount of shit that they half of them would say, or is what there's some that would say stuff, and I don't know. I didn't have too many friends. I had one that had a few, and then sometimes when we would play, and it was mainly on his Switch or whatever he had for Mario Kart, it was his other friends, and I would just make everyone else rage. I was terrible. I was the most terrible asshole ever. And I don't have any shame in saying that when it comes to Mario Kart, because that's probably one of the games I love. Just because I don't care if I win. If I do win, it's a wonderful day. It's just the idea of making everyone else suffer. I'm not that way in every game. I just, when it came to my friends, it's just or friend and his friends, I just had to make him suffer. What else? Oh man. Project wise, I'm hoping to get some stuff done. I would love to do, and it's something you mentioned, and I thought it would be cool doing like a duo channel, like just like where I would write the scripts and like you would do the stuff. I guess. Which was pretty cool. I thought about it, and because you mentioned it, and I thought, that would be a cool channel to do. Like team up with somebody and stuff like that. That'd be awesome. I guess there would be a lot of limitations on my end because of like technical stuff. Yeah. I'm telling you, that's the way. Yeah, exactly. I have to eventually work all that shit out, because everybody's situation is different. Mine's different than yours, and yours is different than mine, and all that crap. So for me, it's like I would love to. Believe me, I don't have any reservations with doing that at all. Like that be fun for me and entertaining and stuff. Hell, I could even like if it's a script of mine and the performance wise, if I could listen to some of the takes and I could give you like some like ideas for how to approach certain things, and I can listen to it. It's kind of like that scene from the Queen movie. Remember the whole Galileo scene? It would be kind of like that. Galileo, Galileo Figaro. It's kind of like that, how he had to do that several freaking times. It'd be kind of like that. Well, not as bad, but I mean, like, kind of like that. But I think it'd be fun. I don't hate the idea at all. I think it'd be amazing. I think it would be great to work with you on some different stuff and all that. I think the only thing for me is like trying to get certain stuff and all that. Because I think for me, well, the one problem is I'm doing everything. This is a problem. I'm doing everything from my phone. So the one downside is that that's why it's harder for me to do like art videos or me doing videos or stuff like that. My problem is I'm doing everything from this, so I have to work within those limitations. I do have a laptop that's connected to my drawing tablet, but I would have to transfer over my YouTube account to that, and then I'd have to like understand how to do all that stuff and work within a lot of different limitations and figure out all this extra crap that my brain is not very good at. Yeah, it's not that hard. For you it might be. For me, with it's not that crazy. Yeah. I think for me, my biggest thing is I have a little bit of a learning disability. That's been my biggest hurdle with why it's harder for me to do things or understand things. And I'm not making excuses for myself. Trust me, I know I can do it. Like it's like the whole Thomas the Tank Engine thing. I think I can. Now it's like I can do it. It just takes a lot longer and a lot harder. It's why the tutorial videos on YouTube, most of them, I don't find them very helpful, especially drawing ones. The whole idea with anatomy and figuring that stuff out, it's just like it's not as helpful for me because I don't learn watching. It's hard for me to learn watching somebody do something. I'm more of a hands-on person, so it's like that's always been the way I am. It's always been that way. It's just more easier on me brain-wise. but yeah, it's just been a thing that I've had to deal with for forever. So it's nothing on you. It's just a me thing. But I'm working at getting better at it. But yeah, no, I'll try. Yeah, I can't make any promises. It's better more doing something than just watching. Yes. Yes, indeed. That is very, very, very true. That is more true than you will ever know, because I am not that. It's just not in my nature. It's just not. Plus, with painting, I've kind of self-taught myself. Like, that's been the thing of, like, painting-wise. I've learned through trial and error and self-teaching myself. Like, yeah, I've took some notes from, like, videos and stuff, but most of all of it has been through trial and error and understanding some things. Like I can't, always pick up on some stuff. If I'm like for the Miles Morales thing, like that was like me just going on a whim, like mixing together. Like I just did a rough sketch and like I kept recording and using like oil markers and inks. And I'm surprised as well as it turned out, and that it actually turned out looking very good. Because I was just kind of improvising, and I had a little bit of like some photo reference, just a small amount. So, and it kind of helped that I was rewatching that movie the exact same day. So it kind of helped me kind of understand some of the stuff a little bit more. So if I'm being frank, I think that's just been the hurdles. I'll work on getting Discord, but I can't make any promises that it'll happen in the time frame that you would like, because of like limitations on my end, understanding some stuff, and then also talking with or having someone help me set it up, and all that. So that'll be like, hold on. Yeah. The other thing is sure. The other thing has also been I'm fighting against storage problems on this phone. Take your time. All right. But yeah, that has been another problem I've been dealing with for the last few weeks. That's why I don't do as many videos, and it's harder to do even shorts because of I was planning to take this stream and download it once it's done. Not doing that. Because the longer the stream goes, the more space it'll take, and depending on the cutting and all that stuff, of course I have to mute it, but I don't. But I was gonna download it and for a short to finish this for part 2, but I'm not doing that. One, it'd be too difficult, and two, I just don't want to fool with it. It's just too much of a hassle and all that. At least for me, it is. And so far, I've mixed together like paints, different paints, watercolor, dried gouache, markers, oil markers, color pencils, everything in between. My biggest thing is I would love to do art as like a professional thing. But my biggest thing is an attention thing. It's why I don't have half of my big projects done, is because doing them is very draining. Doing any type of art is draining, depending on the complexity and how long it takes to be spending time looking at something for hours on end. If you're not happy with it, or you're just like, you have so many things you still need to do, like the amount of pinup prints or just like regular prints like this, some of them I don't even have those done. Like I have a few, like I have Dante, Death from Darksiders, and a lot of other ones. But then there's a lot other ones that I don't have done because like it's just like an attention thing. I think it's like I try to keep it in check, but it's not easy. Or should I say it's not always easy. Because you have to really be, I have to be more better at it, but I'm not. And it's worse when I am very messy as an artist, or just in general. I am messy. I am very unorganized. This is what I call my system. Everywhere. 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 I have This is my system: chaos and mess. If you can even call it a system, it's called organized chaos. Yeah. I can't say that my grandmother or anybody else likes it very much. They have some words. They're like, you could be more clean. You could be more organized. You can do this. I call this my organization skill. It's called mess. A chaos incarnate. But nah, I've never been good at keeping stuff organized or any of that. My actual room is 10 times worse. That's probably the worst. That's probably one of my worst qualities, is that I am very messy. And I'm not as organized as I should be, and I try to be, and I do use the key word try. Do I succeed at it? No, but I do try, and that's the more important thing. A certain extent, I do like doing some of the, doing art, doing paintings, doing whatever, because it's a lot more fun. I get to work with stuff on paper, with paint or any of that. But I think for me, it also is harder because I have to work within a lot of I wouldn't say limitations, because if you have very cheapy materials, your work is gonna probably not look as good, and not as good as you would like it to look. And that's been one downside of working. I can easily do digital, but I don't know what it is. It's either the apps or it's just my brain. I don't like digital as well, because it just doesn't feel as interesting. It just kind of feels like I can undo any mistake I would like, but also sometimes the mistakes in your pieces, especially with you're doing regular stuff, the mistakes actually benefit. If you let's say I've done a piece that took me around a couple years and stuff, and I do several pieces since then. Then I come back to that old piece, and I didn't, and look at it, be like, oh, I didn't see that then, because the amount of time you're spending looking at something, you can certainly, you lose something. You basically don't notice the mistakes when you're in the moment. When you can certainly, especially whether it doesn't matter if you're doing art, it can happen with anything. There's times I look at some of the videos that I've done, and I don't realize in the moment, there's because the recording is done from my phone, where I have to record the audio. Sometimes, sure thing, when you have some of the past things, yeah. If I go back and I look at even streams, notice the echoing, or you notice the little details, yeah. Just the small mistakes that you wouldn't really think of, that might turn people off of things, and that they don't like it as much. And I think that's the biggest, I wouldn't call it a downside, but it's also just a downside in general, because yeah, I could use Streamlabs, or I could use this, that, or the other, but it's also it's harder when you have. My big thing is I work on the floor. I sit crisscross applesauce and I paint on the floor. that's just like my system. That's the way I do things. That's why like half the time I'm doing stuff, it's probably hell on my back and my posture. I'm probably gonna have like a Doofenshmirtz back when I get into my 30s. But it's just the thing I'm used to. It's the thing I do. Like it's like I could easily work at a desk, but it's like there's something weird when I sit at one, like because I have very easily my feet get hot easily. So when I'm sitting with, like, let's say I'm sitting at a desk with shoes on, or I'm sitting at a table, it's harder for me to draw and it's harder for me to concentrate and think when like you have like I just physically feels like I just can't. And it's a weird thing, and it's a weird ass problem to have. But it's just like it makes it harder for me. And then you have just the small things. I try to even it out, but that's harder. I wonder if a sandbox for your feet would work. Maybe. I don't know. It's just the thing of like, it's the same problem I have even when I'm sleeping. You know, like, do you ever have like when you have your blanket covers your feet and then you immediately eventually wake up earlier than you should? Because like you're just like you feel like you're hotter than you should be. Kind of what I have. It's like a weird ass thing. Like it's a genetic thing. Maybe it's due to autism, or maybe it's just a human thing. But that's kind of what happens with me, is where if my feet are hot, I can't sleep. Yes, agreed. That is like with me. If my feet are hot, I cannot sleep. I can't do shit. if I that's why I prefer colder temperatures, or I have like that's why I have a fan in my room. You know, if I'm sleeping in a hotel and it is not cold, or there's not air blowing that's like, you know, a certain direction or something, it is a lot harder for me to get to sleep. And it's like I think it's an ADHD thing, or it's just a weird ass temperature thing. I don't know. It's a weird little thing to have a issue with, but it's a thing nonetheless. It's a thing. Yes, it's a thing. I don't know. You know, everybody has those little weird things, you know, that just keep us from doing certain stuff that we would like to do. You know, like for me, it's just I have just as many issues as anybody else. I think we all do. I'm hoping to get this done. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe whatever. We are all little weirdos, yes. And weirdos, us weirdos, to quote the Owl House, stick together. God, I missed that show. Both that show and Amphibia were pretty good. I'll say Amphibia, the weird thing for Amphibia is when it first came out, yes, indeed it was. When it first came out, I wasn't interested because of it had a very similar like it didn't have anything that seemed interesting at first. It was like it felt like Phineas and Ferb in a way, where it's just like a very small, episodic, goofy, weird like format where it's just like short, little, sweet, chaotic adventure. It's kind of like that one show, like City Green. It didn't have anything interesting. You know, it was like, for me, it didn't have anything interesting. It just the same, what's called, and then, but it was like a slow burn for me, because like you get to the later like seasons, like season maybe 2 or later half of season 1, and that's when like it actually starts to get interesting, and it actually feels like um there's something here, like there's actually something. That's I think that's the one thing that stopped me from watching um the show, as it's like the filler stuff that just didn't feel needed, for the early like it didn't it just kind of feels like it's just there to show the show and kind of give it leeway, where like with the Owl House, it kind of like it opens up like that. And there's really hard, you really don't get any filler episodes with that show. I think most everything has like some impact or some connection or stuff like that. Even the stuff that you wouldn't think about does. And I think that's where I always found it to be interesting. The only thing that really bothered me, and I think it was a downside of it being rushed to the finish, was the whole thing with Caleb. That was one plot line that I thought was the biggest thing that pissed me off, is that even, and it's something that I wish that they would reveal like deleted scenes from the finale, because I honestly thought that we might get like some more Bellows stuff where he like has like these little flashbacks with Caleb, or these little tiny things that like give you more insight, because you get a bit of some of it from the which is, and this is where really, well, yeah, he killed a lot of the clones. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, you get a lot of his backstory through like Hollow Mind, through like the murals, and you get pieces that you can put together and make theories on and all that stuff. But there's nothing like hearing like dialogue or seeing it. So like when you see the look on Caleb's face with the knife hovering over him, the ghost of him, or just the little tiny things like dialogue wise, I would have liked to see more of that. Like I know he calls like Luce Evelyn a lot, but I mean like, or when he kills Flapjack and stuff. I think we honestly should have gotten a little bit more insight onto Evelyn than him. Like I kind of want to. I honestly think that yes, Bellows is a good villain because he doesn't care and stuff, but I would have liked to have more insight into Bellows. It's kind of like with Tom Riddle in a sense. Like by the time you get to Half-Blood Prince, you already know Voldemort's bad. You already know all these little, like you've seen Tom his even his middle school, I wouldn't say middle school, but like his like certain self from Chamber of the Secrets, like you see that, and he's just as bad even back then. And the thing is with that, the book does is like it gives you a little bit of an insight. Yes, he was bad even back then, but there's also small little reasons for it, and there's also some parallels that you have to your main character. And I think that's the one thing you can honestly do well. And it's something that the Owl House kind of squandered, and I would have loved to see more of it. Like when you do get Philip and Luce interacting, he the whole thing is he freaking, you think he's good, but then he's not, and it's just like it's kind of predictable, but that he's Bellows, but it's also like I kind of would like to see like why it is that he his more of his relationship with Hunter, but also his relationship with the other clones, and also just his relationship of either, yeah. Well, they didn't have a lot of time to elaborate much. Yeah, I know, but I mean, like, they could have. I think if they did like a DVD with like deleted scenes, like I would have liked to see like deleted scenes with like dialogue, from the finale, because there was something that I thought was kind of cool with Aldalia, where she basically tries to help the crew, but like that was scrapped. But I kind of thought it would be nice, like basically maybe she kind of realizes, she's nowhere different than where she was, and she's just completely, you know. But it makes sense that they didn't do it. But I kind of would have liked to see that. Like, I know Adalia is probably the most hated character, but I like she has probably some reason to be a complete bitch. Like, she has to have some reason, whether it's explained or not. It would be nice to see that. Like, see more of it. And that's just me spitballing, and me, you know. I think, there's plenty of things like I would like to see. Like, there's shows that got cut so early that I would like to see. Yeah, probably some legacy stuff. Yeah. And speaking of that, like shows like that, Tron Legacy, right? Well, the show was supposed to lead up to that movie, the one that was like setting up the idea of like what happened to Tron, and how it was supposed to. Tron Uprising only got one season, and that show was so goddamn good, but so fucking dark. Like, yes, T-Resing is not completely killing people, but in fact, we all know exactly what's going on, and the amount of death that's in that show is surprising for a kid's show. And it was it was very good to watch. Like, it was like one of those shows that's like, it's kind of straightforward. It's not completely villain of the week, but it is a little. And it's also just like, in general, it has that feel of like a mixture of things, like Batman the animated series, and mixed with like a 3D style and all this other stuff. And I kind of like that style. And that's just me. But I think, for me anyhow, I just really like some of the old stuff. Like, I was rewatching Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and it was very good. Better than the schlop that we've been getting from Disney and Marvel lately. I went to go watch Marvel's. I stick by my review. It is a decent watch, but it is not good writing-wise. Action-wise, it's decent. It's fine. It's tolerable. It is not as bad as everybody's saying it is. I'm just saying it is meh. Like, yes. I stick by my review. I meant every word. Plus, I don't like being one of those channels like the Quartering and Yellow Flash and all those guys. Like, those guys just woke. It has diversity. Woke. Oh. It's like, hey, guys, shut the fuck up. I don't like being that. I like to. I'm just blunt and honest. Like, I just like, share your opinions, fine, but not everybody cares. Like, shut the fuck up. If I met one of those guys and they said that they keep saying that shit to me, I was just like, hey, dude, can I tell you something? Shut the fuck up. I just don't care. I don't care. I can't really stand half those guys anyways. Like, they just, half those guys, Geeks and Gamers, the Quartering, RK Outpost, all of them, like every single one of them, like, they're just, I don't like them. I don't like them at all. Ow. They just I don't like them. So, and I'm kind of blunt and honest. If I don't care if their fans come after me. Everything's woke. Everything's here. Hell, like when I said about what's funny is like, at one point they're like, I was, talking about, like, I left a comment about a Percy Jackson thing, and like somebody got, you can tell he was like somebody that watches them because he had like a similar, and I just put 3 little dots, and he immediately responded like that. He's like, what? You got a problem? Blah, 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 blah. I was like, dude, like I like literally you can basically, like, he responded like that, and he said, something on the lines of like, you got a problem, like, even if you don't agree with me, you're still wrong, or something. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. I put 3 dots. I didn't even say whether you're right or wrong. I literally just, like, you're responding like an asshole. Like, literally like an asshole. And it's not the first time I've encountered like bitches or people on the internet that are just assholes. Like, I've had my fair share of dickheads, like even on this channel or on other channels that I've encountered. Like, there was what was her name? Yeah. Yeah. There was, and this is why I unprivated that video, because it's not like I'm trying to cause drama, but like, the truth of the matter is that the person not only tried to, yeah, we're well, there are assholes everywhere, or a-holes everywhere. Yes, indeed. Said little, like, they had the condescendingness of, like, not even wanting to address the fact that they're responding. Hell, they basically commented to me on another person's channel. Then when I called them out as it escalated for them being kind of this, that, or the other, they decided to go to their own channel, put up a community post about, like, murder is fine if nobody finds out, right? And I was like, are you that petty? Are you that much of a very... And then you look at some of the posts that she was putting out, or they're putting out, and it's like, they're very radical, or very, like, they're not right. Like, you can tell. And just the whole thing of, like, the insults of, like, if you're yeah, okay, you're so smart, and tell me the digits of pi, or blah blah blah. And I'm just like, okay, like, what the fuck is your point? like I'm a freak, I'm this. Like, this is shit I've heard half my life, even through high school. This is like some B grade bullying language. What the fuck are you on? And it gets worse, because, like, you think about it, and it's like, some people are just so incredibly, yeah, they're so incredibly petty and so incredibly sad that you literally, hell, I tried to criticize and like say with her art, and she wouldn't even I was in midway through editing the comment, because I thought it came off as kind of rude and kind of and she immediately responded, and then then wanted to act like, well, and then and she kept acting like I didn't like her or something. It was like, well, one, you're speaking for me and saying I don't like you. Well, obviously, with your attitude, no one would like you. First of all, and second of all, if anything, I'm not the type that really doesn't like people. Now, I dislike things people say, people do. That's all well and good. That's like every day of watching the news. But for me, I could give a shit less. Hell, she even tried to say, well, I bet you can't even draw as good as me. And it's funny. I said, okay, well, you do realize I draw on my channel. Why don't you just look at any videos I do? And he's like, why would I go to your channel? Like, okay, what the fuck was your point then? If you say I can't draw, than actually see some of the stuff I'm doing and actually look, and you can see it's plain and simple. I can actually draw. I can do more than that. I can actually paint. Kind of a cool concept, don't you think? It's like and it's weird because and then it's not the first time, because like you go on and she like, how holy cow, some people are just annoying next to you. Yeah. and it's like I think they enjoy, and funny enough, she openly admits in 30 ways into this argument that she has to respond. It's a thing she just has to do. If somebody says something, she has to respond to it if it's blah blah blah. And not only that, she openly admits that she's told people when she's gotten mad to go get raped and murdered. And I'm just sitting there like, and you're saying I'm a freak? You're openly saying I'm this, that, and the other. I'm sorry. Is that any way to respond? And you're telling me I should grow up? I should do this? I'm saying, have you looked at what you say? Have you looked at anything you said? Like, I'm sorry. Have you looked? That video is somewhere on the channel. I don't know. Like I tried to screenshot most of what they said. I don't like, drama and stuff, and I put their channel in the description. But like, it's almost like basically some people haven't changed. They don't change. You don't honestly. Hell, it's not the first time I've had to deal with haters and other people too. Like that bear guy, I kind of was just like, I just immediately just did not care. Like, even at a certain point, it's just like, I could not give a shit less. Thank you. I usually try to refrain from deleting comments or shadow banning, unless I have a pretty good damn reason to. Because I've been shadow banned before for no reason. And I think I got shadow banned from like an ASMR channel for some reason. I don't know why. I didn't do anything. Like literally, like I didn't even do a damn thing. I just was like commented. I said, oh, cool. And like at one point I did see my messages, and then they kept getting deleted. So, and then I got shadow banned. So I was like, really? Like, really? What a bitch. So I just kind of, that's why I don't watch. Well, I do certain ones, but I tried to. The reason why I watched some ASMR stuff in the first place was just like ideas, getting, wow, yeah. Like they kept deleting my comments, and then they shadow banned me. So I was like, eh. So, but no, I think for me, the reason why I watched it in the first place was just to get like story stuff ideas, or just to get my brain relaxed enough to think, or just take inspiration for like stories or scripts or ideas of writing, how to approach something if I wanted to write stuff, which I do in my free time, sometimes. But like, for me, that's kind of like what, for me, that's kind of why I watched stuff in the first place. Actually, funny enough, I still know the ASMRist's name. I'm not gonna say it because I don't have any problems. It's her channel. Do whatever the hell you want to do. But it was still kind of an a-hole move or a bitch move. So I'll leave it at that. That's all I'm gonna say, because like I don't like the idea of sounding petty or like an asshole. So it's kind of where I leave my shit. Like I leave it at the door and I say fuck it. But yeah. But I will say, like, on the internet, like, a lot of people just like they run their mouth with, and then when you do respond or you say something, it's like, oh yeah, you're this or that. Well, maybe here's the thing people on the internet need to understand. If you do not want people to say something, don't say something first. Like, if you don't want the heat, stay the fuck out of the kitchen. It's a very simple concept. It's like, if I want people, if I don't like haters and shit like that, either difference is, like, it's, sometimes it helps in a weird way. Yeah. That I when I say that, when I do that, it sounds like Zoidberg. um I don't like it either, but sometimes depending on the hate, like sometimes some hate can be justified because you can. Well, it depends on some things. First, if you've done something completely shitty, for instance, I don't want to get into drama, but what Mini Lad did, then you deserve every ounce of hate you get. And there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You deserve it. But if it's like a hate that is like that's kind of mean spirited, where it's like, okay, it's a weird way. If somebody says that with my drawings, if someone said, like your head, the head on that looks like this or that, or like what that guy did, which was kind of funny. It wasn't mean spirited, but it was like a funny, weird, mean spirited ish joke on the drawing when he said that one fan art of yours where I tried to do, and it was like, that head looks like something like a baked bean, and it's like that type of. It's not really hate, but it's like a mixture of a thing that's fine. Like, like stuff like that is like I can tolerate it. Like, I'm not gonna hide those comments. I If anything, I like seeing stuff like that. Like if I just see sometimes the only thing that annoys me, and it's probably just as an artist or something, I don't like blind everything's great, everything you do is great, it looks gorgeous, like blind blind praise is something that I find annoying. Now, this is probably me thing. I like if I'm praising someone, I actually mean it. Because I actually took the time to watch the whole damn thing, if I had the time or stuff. So like with your stuff, I actually do take the time to watch the damn thing. And stuff. So I don't try to do a blind blind praise. So that's like the thing that, I find annoying. And this is like a me thing. I find it annoying. Probably not a lot of people do. But, that's just the me thing. Thanks. Yes, I always do. I try to stay tuned in when I do. Like sometimes I am late to shit. Like that's like sometimes like your stuff gets posted and like some people just like blind praise. Yeah. And then there's some people that they'll watch something, and there's someone else that does ASMR content that, has come by the streams and stuff. And that's she did she did this one thing, and I don't know why she thought I was like, if I was being negative or not. No, I wasn't. Like, it's whatever floats your boat. I had some opinions on it, and I'm not saying that the stuff he was doing is bad. I just, if it was me, I wouldn't do it for many reasons. First, I'm not that confident in doing that, and two, you're going to have a lot of people that are going to say something like this. And one of the comments I was reading, and it said, "Nice tits." and there's a reason why they said that, because it was like a shower short thing they did. I don't know. I briefly saw it, and I just kind of was like, okay, whatever floats your boat, enjoy. But I don't know about this. Because I am not that confident. I am not. I don't. Well, yeah. If I'm like, I don't. If whatever floats your boat. If someone wants to do content and do whatever, like their version of like an SMR is like very like that, cool. Not my thing. I'm not a pervert. I'm not gonna sit there and just like, if anything, I just left a quick like, one comment, and left, because I didn't want to watch the whole thing, because I just felt like I would say I wouldn't say it made me feel uncomfortable. It made me feel like whatever floats your boat, do whatever you want. Thank you, bye. Because it's just like it's not like it was my thing. It's just like I don't, as a guy, you already have those idiots that want to say not the idiots, but like, you're certain women, if you're at the gym and they deliberately go in front of you and then they go over, or then you have the TikTok girls that love to do inappropriate things on film, which I just love our society. Oh boy. It's a lovely day to be an American. But no, I think for me it's a weird thing. TikTok is just free oof. Yeah. That's why if I publish stuff, I don't do anything with my face. I don't do anything weird. I just do upload speed drawings and that's it. Like occasionally if I'll do like a gaming thing with music, because why not? But anything other than that is kind of like, nah. I don't like revealing my face. I kind of keep it a mystery unless it's someone I genuinely trust and all of that. That's why when I did do like the thing, I would wear a mask and stuff, which, Also, I am sorry I never did get, I guess because of the Gmail thing, I don't think you ever did get the drawing I did for you, did you? What I should have done, and I don't know if I did, and it just depends on how far it goes along. I haven't yet. If I posted it on my community post, you could probably screenshot it and have it that way, because I did put up my Gmail on the channel at one point, but because of that one person, which I got a little nervous, and that's why I took it down, because I'd rather not get doxxed. I rather not. I try not to get doxxed because the internet sucks ass sometimes with those types of people. Those guys suck. But nah, I was like, yeah, I do not want to get doxxed, so I took that down. Which I kind of feel bad about, but then you think about it, I usually try to comment back. So like when you put like you respond or put something on the channel, like I usually comment back all the time. I would have tried to send the Gmail that way, but I wouldn't know if you would get it and it would work. So also I have a very weird sense of humor. Sometimes I actually enjoy some of those dark jokes because I watch a lot of the Vanoss crew and stuff, and I was watching one of their react videos, and they were going through their subreddits. And like I said on the post today, I actually meant it when I was saying I would hope that people could come up with something funny for the channel and like genuinely make me laugh, and like it's like like for my personality, or it's like the gaming stuff, or like just art or whatever, just like something funny, memey about the channel, it's something to make me laugh. And I was going I was going through, and they were like, there was like some funny moments, and there was like somebody that did this combination of all the worst things the Vanoss crew said. It's like in the words of Brian, I apologize to my black viewers, and then he went on, and it's like and it like they started it, it's like, I have no regrets, and it just opens up with all the squares half beeped out, and then it goes to one of the things like, and it's like dun 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 dun, dun, dun. That's what's doing it, and it goes to that part, and you hear fucking fucking dun, 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 and it's like it's just like it is so funny because it's so perfectly timed, and even Brian and I was like busting out laughing. I know I have the weirdest sense of humor, but like when I watch, I'm not a big React channel person. Like there's like some people that like Sniper Wolf and all them. I don't. I don't find her stuff to be funny. But like for me, like watching like some of these, like there's a few that I thought was funny. And speaking of like because you put a little cat emoji, the worst ones that are funnier is the ones with the cats that are like there was one that was doing like an index card and they she's like it, and she picks up, it says, you know, what will solve racism, and and she has 4 cards and the cat puts the paw on one of them and she picks it up and then she reads and she's like, oh my god, and it says restoring Germany to their former to its former glory, and it's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Freaking cats, man. Oh man, they're like little it's like every time in every React video, it's always the cats are the dogs are great, they're cute and lovable, and then the cats are freaking Nazis. And it's like, for fuck's sake. I don't find everything funny, but then there's sometimes I just kind of I find the littlest things funny. And I know like and my humor is objectable, so you're probably either sitting there questioning to yourself, should I tell him that he's an idiot or not? But yeah, ha 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 ha. Nah. Oh, it wouldn't be the first time. I know I'm an idiot. Oh, that's my middle name. I wear it proudly. Humor is humor, yeah. I have a mixture of liking dark humor and like stuff because I grew up with like a lot of raunchy stuff. Yeah, cats are silly anyways. Yeah, indeed. Like George Carlin, Robin Williams, Richard Pryor, like thousands of different like comedians. The guy from Ice Age, what is his name? Dr. Whatever his name is. And then you have like newer comedians like Bill Burr, Jeff Dunham, shit. Like Fluffy, all that stuff. Like I grew up with a lot of older humor, but I got into a little bit of the newer stuff. So I find a lot of things like Joe Coy and everything. So like so for me, like my humor can go into dark places and then like into, you know, stuff like that. So like there's like some episodes in Family Guy that are like very like some dark humor that I'll laugh at, and then like there's some that I just like I won't watch. Like I'm not a big Family Guy watcher, but like there's some shows I'll watch. That's why I like Hell of a Boss and stuff. And I am a little bit bitter that about something, but yeah, it's either dark or silly, and if there are no in between, in between. There's sometimes some in between stuff. I am bitter about one thing, you know, like I deleted the post, but it was like something that I was pissed about. I pitched this idea and I thought it was a dumb idea. Not only does the person use the idea, but I'm shadow banned for what reason I have no idea from and it pissed me off to no end. Which was like the whole ant theme, and it's funny because it sucks. Because if I went to her Twitter and I saw like a little thing of like, oh, like some people blah blah blah, you know, I always tried to give credit where credit's due, and so for me to get shadow banned, I just like, fuck you. But nah, I just I don't know. I just that kind of annoyed me, but it's like it's a minor gripe because it's like, oh well, you know, like I pitched an idea. Not only does they use it, But I basically am shadow banned. It's either I'm shadow banned or my comments have been hidden from the comment section. So there's like two different things. So I don't know if it's one or the other. So if I commented on a live thing and it just immediately disappeared, then that would mean I'm shadow banned. Boo, that sucks. Yeah. Cause it does, but it's like what can you do? Like it's like because I thought the idea was silly, like an ant, theme or an ant thing. And it's not only that, but it makes it worse when you see that not only did they respond to it, but I could go back and look for the proof of it and say, like, hey, I came up with this idea. Where's my credit? Like I was the one that pitched this to you, and not only did you like it, it's like, and I'm surprised. I don't know if anybody is called and asked her if like it was an original idea or if it was a fan thing. And because like I saw like all the comments and like, oh yeah, no, that's so cute, that's cool. And it's like, and it's very irritating because like I was the one that came up with it, and these guys are like acting like it was her idea, and it's not completely hers because I literally pitched it. I remember pitching it, and I have the comments. And when you're shadow banned, you can still see your own comments from your thing. At least you can get credit for the idea. Yeah, that is true. But I would have to either call them out on Twitter or make a video, which I don't. I could make a video, but it's either going to get no attention or it will get attention, and I'm going to get a lot of shit for it. And say, and basically say, hey, not only did you shadow ban me, but at least you took my idea. Can you at least give me some credit for that? Ah, god damn it, my phone's at 5% battery. Ah, fuck. Well, I have the charger here. It's not good to charge it while it's on, but yeah, that does kind of suck. I would have to go back and look at my comments and see where I put it, and like basically say leave, like maybe I might make a video and say, hey, I don't think they'll see it or nobody will see it, but it's like it really just depends because YouTube's thing is it's very weird on the recommended side. And also, this might be a weird thing, but when you start a channel, I'm pretty sure you can add people as like co stuff. So they can basically, and it's going to 4, so I'm gonna have to plug it up in a second. You can like basically, I don't know if you have to add their Gmail or do you have to like, I don't know. It just depends. Hold on just a second. Let me plug this up. It's harder to do when it's freaking on. Hold on. Ah, it's short. Damn it. Hold on. There we go. It's hot as hell too. So, damn it. Oh man. Ow. But it kind of does suck. But it's like, look, I can't really do much about it because even if I tried, it could be, they could make the argument, say, no, I was thinking about this even before that, and blah blah blah. But it's like, it only in a video thing, it's like it only makes me look petty because it's like, well, if I bring up the fact that not only am I was shadow banned and stuff, it'll only make me look petty. And even if I make the video at all, like you have fan bases are very toxic in nature, and if in a certain extent, if her fan base even comes close to seeing it, I don't know, they might just write me off is just trying to start drama or stuff like that. And that's the last thing I would want to do. And it's not even a thing I would want. So it's kind of on some regards. I'm thinking about doing a gaming stream here in a bit, anyways, because I need to. Oh, yeah, better to leave it in peace. Yeah. Nice. It just depends on what, because I could do Marvel Spider-Man 2 again, but like, I don't know how many times I could play that. Like, I could do it on like ultimate difficulty and like play it again and do all the stuff. I don't know, because like it'll be till 2024 till New Game Plus comes out, which kind of sucks. But I honestly don't mind replaying that game again and stuff like that. So it's a very thing. We need to get Twitch so we can play Raft. I don't have Twitch, honestly. Actually, somebody brung it up about if I had it, and I was like, no, I don't have it. My thing is, I have the biggest issue of like, me either. Yeah, everybody always wants to bring up like all these things I should have, but it's like I don't know how the first thing of how to do all this shit. Hell, I have too many problems making videos. Like nobody watches them half the time, which kind of sucks. Like if I do an art video, it's very hard to do all this stuff because then I have to record, I have to edit, and then I have to make sure the quality of the video is good. And it's like, and it sucks more because the camera for a phone like this kind of sucks ass. Because I would like my videos to be like the art side of things could be like Alex Ross's videos. But I don't know. I just can't. Like I've tried, but I don't have that built in me the way I would like it to I guess. I could stream though. I've been streaming for a couple hours and I don't want to burn up the battery, so I could probably stream a gaming stream. What do you think I should stream anyways? I have Resident Evil, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 1, Miles Morales, and a couple others. I have Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, which I tried to stream, and I regrettably did the Legendary Dark Knight mode first, which spawns more enemies than I can fight. What do you think I should do? Or do you think I should no more yet? Oh, shoulders. Thinking. Just depends on the games. I don't have access to everything. And no bright ideas. I'm not ever playing a Frozen game, so don't even think about it, Missy. Don't even think about it, Queenie. No Frozen. Ha ha ha. Because the cold don't bother me anyways. And I'm not Elsa. Control, Alan Wake. Fall Guys? Maybe. If I have it. Just depends. I don't have access to every single game because I looked up the game that you mentioned and it's Xbox exclusive. PlayStation I have. Yes. And then there's Star Wars and all that other stuff. So I'll have to think. Well, wait, did you ever watch Marvel Spider-Man 2? Or any of that? Well, the game or the movie? The new Insomniac game. You have Marvel Spider-Man 2, the game with Yuri and all that stuff. And I streamed it a bit along a few months. No, I don't know. It's either that or play. Ooh, yes. It's either that or play the Arkham games. I could do City or Asylum or whatever. Yeah. What? You want me to play Marvel Spider-Man 2? Or something? Nah, get Spider-Man. Alright. Well, what I'll do is well, I have to first see the one. Yeah, it is fun, yes. Um, what I'll have to do is see if, because sometimes when I stream on PlayStation, it does like a false thing, and then it lags. Batman is epic, but too serious. Yes. Well, he does have Dick Grayson to keep him on the edge, and once he's that serious, have you read the Batman Family Adventures? Also, do you draw at all? No, no, really. Uh, well, I will see you in the Marvel Spider-Man 2 stream in a couple minutes. I am going to exit and turn off my phone and let it charge, truly charge, and then I'm going to start it up in a couple seconds. Yes. See you soon.